Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said it was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. Then right after that, Al had a meeting, and I was survivors and the late of Uptown Records. They were all writing tell-all books. Andre was writing a book right before he died. Heavy D was working on a book before he died. Kim Porter was working on a book before she died. Al B. Sure was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a coma. Has Puffy ever been in a coma? Has anything happened to him? He must be the luckiest motherfucker, because it seems like everybody that worked at Uptown Records from the very beginning. Come on, just...
I need to know, do you think that Diddy Kim Porter?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because of all the videotapes, because of the book, because of all the people she gave copies of her book to, or at least chapters, because of everything that she had on him, because of the tape that she used to blackmail him into a relationship and into a raise of him being sodomized by Andre Harrell. And I'm not saying that allegedly, because I heard her and Kim Noor talking about it in the booth of the bathroom while snorting cocaine at the Kit Kat Club.
A lot of people think that there was always something fishy with Kim Porter's death. Interestingly enough, Kim's niece used to also be the babysitter, right? She was super, super close to Kim. Now, the funny thing is, when Kim passed away, she was in charge of taking care of the girls. All of a sudden, out the blue, Diddy said that she thinks she's a bad example for them because she's a single mom, because she got pregnant without being married. I know Diddy and his 11 kids had the nerve to say that. And people always said that there was something going on. She fled to Vietnam, I believe. She was suing him, but it seemed like she was very uncomfortable with coming back into the States. Well, people are now saying that there is verifiable proof that Diddy, even though he tried to fight her tooth and nail since 2022, to not pay her a penny, you know he settled with her a month ago?
P. Diddy's ex, Kim Porter, mysteriously died in 2018 from natural causes at 47. Kim Porter is the mother of their two twins, and she was in a relationship with P. Diddy for roughly 13 years. P. Diddy wanted custody of their kids, and she was planning on releasing a tell-all book if he tried. In the book, Kim approached the man who discovered P. Diddy, Andre Harrell, to ask if he had an intimate relationship with Diddy. She was disappointed when Andre denied it because she had security footage of them together. Kim had footage of Diddy with multiple other men, including Usher. P. Diddy would make Kim use a strap-on to please him. Kim's family allegedly was going to file a wrongful death lawsuit because there was blood located on her pillowcase, as well as a trail of blood in the bathroom. Kim's first autopsy suspected foul play from the amount of toxins found in her body. Kim's last phone call was allegedly to 911 at 2:43 a.m.
One night, when they were at home at Kim's house on 110th Street, he wanted to, put his hands on her in the wrong way. And Kim took one of those corkscrews and ripped his wrists up and hit an artery. And when she did that, he had to rush over to St. Luke's Hospital. I met him over there to the hospital. It was me, him, and Kim in the hospital when he was bleeding like crazy. When she wasn't taking that, she wasn't gonna take that ass whooping, and she got him off of him the best way she could.
Puff Daddy is the king of deception. Every time we was in the party, he was throwing his champagne, his vodka in every picture. He was so we didn't know. We like, he's a great guy. This is a great party. This is a great, give me your clothes. I'm gonna rock it in the video, yo. Sean John sold 400 million. Champagne, this. Boy, the joke's on us. He been doing this for real. And we can't be mad at him. We always gotta use them as inspiration.
We will begin to see people having terminal illnesses, being sick, being passed away, and will start to have legal trouble. Let me dive into this. So y'all know how it just was released that Kris Jenner and Corey Gamble had something to do with Diddy recently. If you go look, Corey Gamble had some dealings with Diddy.
A shocked and devastated Diddy spotted at the home where his ex suddenly and mysteriously died. Her good friend Kimora Lee Simmons appearing inconsolable at the house, 47-year-old Porter's body found after a desperate call to 911.
Andre was writing a book right before he died. Heavy D was working on a book before he died. Kim Porter was working on a book before she died. And Albie Shore was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a coma.
Puffy, right? His baby mom, Kim Porter, right? She got a whole lot of Tupac-related posts on her IG. She's right next to Puffy, and she's wearing the Tupac shirt. Did Tupac and Kim Porter know each other?
But what I absolutely love about Kim Porter is back in the day, when Diddy left Kim Porter for J-Lo, Kim Porter supposedly didn't even react to it. She caught pictures of him, like online, with him and J-Lo, and they were out at like clubs and parties together. And that's how she found out he was cheating on her. And apparently she said nothing. And that ate away at Diddy. Supposedly he was just waiting for Kim to react. He wanted her attention and she just wouldn't give it to him.
Him and Kim still continue dating, and it is said that allegedly Kim told him a lot of personal information about Diddy. Nobody knows what that information was, but allegedly it was about Diddy's involvement in certain things and additional intimate information about Diddy.
And maybe Kim liked him, Pac, more than he liked Puff, but she couldn't have Pac.
I mean, I think we have the strongest being. Like, if it comes to like a category of who's the strongest being on the face of the earth, it would have to be Black mothers.
Maybe Kim liked him, Pac, more than he liked Puff, but she couldn't have Pac. And Pac didn't have the money that Puff had.
The only two left are Puffy and Al almost died. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Heavy D was found dead, face down in the heart attack. Andre Harrell, heart attack. Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia. Like,
he financed and supported the same thing he did with Cassie is the same thing he did with Kim.
Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned.
We started writing the song, and I was like, I feel like I really want to make sure she gets the message. And I called John Legend. I was like, John, I need you to sing to the heavens above. And that's how we got Kim Porter. Yeah. And she has come and visited me in my dream.
The tragic death of Kim Porter, Sean Diddy's longtime partner, has been the subject of a flurry of rumors and claims on the internet. Now that the case has been reopened, Diddy is under scrutiny as fresh evidence and startling revelations have surfaced, and Kim Porter's family is determined as ever to seek justice. But the biggest twist of all is that Diddy himself may be involved. What lies beneath the glamorous exterior of Diddy's empire? Could the man who helped bring hip-hop into the mainstream be hiring dangerous things? Kim Porter's niece, who had stayed silent and out of the public eye for years, has resurfaced. She's not just coming back quietly, she's ready to reveal the truth. She's not a passive observer in this unfolding story, but a central figure with serious accusations. Secrets first things first, who is Kim Porter's niece, and why has she come back after all these years? We've tried to discredit Raven as just another irate former employee chasing a payday, but her story is far more complicated and possibly far more damaging than Diddy would like people to believe. Her name is Raven, and some of you may know her from a previous lawsuit where she claimed to have been Diddy's nanny. However, Raven is more than just a former employee. She has always claimed that she is Kim Porter's niece. After Kim Porter passed very suddenly and strangely in 2018, Raven was hired, and by all reports, she moved into Diddy's Los Angeles mansion to care for Kim and Diddy's twin girls, Jessie James and Delilah Starr. Living in the same house, eating at their table, and providing for the children in many ways, Raven grew close to the family and felt like a part of it. However, when Raven disclosed that she was pregnant, Diddy reportedly reacted angrily, thinking that it would set a bad example for his daughters. Raven claims that she was fired immediately, but it didn't stop there. After her dismissal, Diddy reportedly made her life a living hell by trying to destroy her reputation and cut her off from all sources of support. the narrative takes a drastically different turn when Raven claims that Diddy's revenge against her was personal as well as business. She said that she feared for her life and spent years hiding in Europe, staying under the radar and silently after years of silence. Raven is back and set to take on one of the most powerful people in the entertainment world. She is not simply making empty threats, though she is gathering proof to back up her accusations. Raven claims to have proof. This is where the tale thickens. There are witnesses, and more crucially, there is a drive to finally expose the truth. So why would Diddy go to such lengths to silence a former nanny? This is only the beginning of the story. Raven is prepared to enter the courtroom determined to tell the world what really happened to her aunt Kim Porter. According to her, Kim Porter's death was not an accident, rather. It was an assassination, and shockingly, she thinks Diddy was responsible. Before we get into the details of Kim Porter's untimely demise, let's take a step back and examine her complicated relationship with Diddy. Raven wasn't just a nanny, she was extremely close to Kim Porter, and some sources suggest that she knows explosive details about Diddy's life secrets that could possibly ruin him. She is no longer afraid to share everything she knows. Kim and Diddy had 3 children throughout their more than 10 years of irregular relationship: a son named Christian and twin girls named Jessie James and Delilah. From the outside, the pair seemed like a power couple. Kim, a beautiful model and actress, and Diddy, the hip-hop mogul, appeared to have it all, but their relationship was far from ideal underneath the glamorous exterior. Diddy has long been recognized for his obsession with having full control over his life, image, profession, and people closest to him. Even though Kim Porter was the father of his children and his confidant, she stood by Diddy for years despite stories swirling about his infidelity, controlling nature, and even violent behavior. Eventually, Kim hit her breaking point in 2007 and ended their relationship for good, reportedly tired of Diddy's antics, though they remained close for the sake of their children. Then came the shocking events of 2018, when Kim Porter was found unresponsive in her home, and the official cause of death was reported as lobar pneumonia. As soon as the news broke, people started to wonder how a seemingly healthy and vibrant Kim could die so quickly from a respiratory infection. The whole situation felt strange. Diddy's career has been marred by controversy, crime, and sadness for a long time. Many see the infamous East Coast versus West Coast rap rivalry of the 1990s as a pivotal moment in hip-hop history, when the genre evolved from music to a war zone focused on 2 record labels, Suge Knight's Death Row Records and Diddy's Bad Boy Records. What started out as a rivalry between rivals quickly turned deadly. The conflict hit its tragic climax with the assassinations of 2 of rap's biggest icons, Tupac Shakur and the Notorious Big. Even though Suge Knight and his group have frequently been held responsible for Tupac's demise, there have always been rumblings that have become louder over time, raising the possibility that Diddy may have also been involved in these tragedies. Now that Raven has come forward with claims against Diddy and that Kim Porter's case has been reopened, the shadows of suspicion surrounding Diddy only seem to grow darker. Let's examine these rumblings. For further information, a former FBI agent has suggested that there might be a direct link between Diddy and Dwayne Key and the long unsolved assassination of Tupac Shakur. Since the federal investigation into HT that resulted in high-profile raids on Diddy's property's famous person engaged in Shakur's death, D. Davis, is currently dealing with legal problems of his own. Some say Diddy paid $1 million for the hit on Tupac as part of a revenge plan during the violent East Coast hip-hop feud. The rivalry, which sparked much of the animosity between the 2 coasts, turned into a dangerous power struggle involving not just lyrical battles but real violence. Davis may have cooperated with federal authorities, possibly revealing Diddy's alleged involvement in the infamous 1996 Las Vegas shooting. Diddy's name has been mentioned in relation to these terrible killings earlier. Deal, his former bodyguard, has suggested on multiple occasions that Diddy is more aware about the deaths of Tupac and Biggie than he is willing to admit. Deal believes that if federal investigators follow the money, they may find connections between Diddy and some of the darkest moments in hip-hop history. With the recent raids and resumed investigations, it appears that long-forgotten rumors are resurfacing, dragging long-buried skeletons out of the closet. However, Diddy's career has been marked by violent acts. Diddy is linked to a number of high-profile situations that show him as a man engaged in power struggles and questionable activities. The tragic stampede at a celebrity basketball game he promoted in 1991, the 1999 incident in which Diddy allegedly assaulted Interscope Records executive Steve Stout out of rage, and the infamous 2001 nightclub shooting involving Diddy and his then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez, which resulted in his arrest and a widely reported trial, are all events that should not be forgotten.